In order to get the light to scatter correctly through these lenses, I'm actually wet sanding them, so that way it spreads the light out properly. So this is before sanding, and then this is after. The problem with the unsanded lenses on these LEDs is that when they are not sanded, you can see the individual color bands and even the individual LED chips there when it's projected through the lens. But now, with the lens in the way, I'm able to have the light spread out evenly so that the colors blend together well. After sanding all the lenses, I assembled the units. So here are the 4 complete light units. I'll show you kind of how they're assembled right here. So I have the heatsink, and then I put some heat paste on there, like from a CPU, and then I place the LED on top of that heat paste, follow it with the reflector, and then I put the lens on the reflector, and then the mount on top of the whole thing, and then I put the screws in the 4 corners to hold it all in place. And that's how I make a completed unit. I need to use ABS plastic for this part that holds the light. Problem with ABS is that it's very peely, as you can see there. Oh well, maybe next time. Despite the warping, this thing actually turned out okay. I don't think I'll use this one on the final build, but it's enough for me to know that this is exactly the right size. Then I just gotta put some screws through there, and then this should be able to hold the light on the stand. After cleaning the print bed with isopropyl alcohol, I was able to get a couple of good prints without any major warping issues. So that's good. After digging around online and reading through data sheets, I was able to figure out that instead of having to use this larger driver right here for those big LEDs, I can instead use this much smaller driver here after removing the resistor labeled R3. This should save me a lot of space in my enclosures. I won't have to print out nearly as much material to put this thing together. Right now I'm testing some code on the Arduino, just testing to see if my pulse width driver is able to control the brightness of this LED. And voila, it is. It's quite bright, so that's exciting. The next test is strobing, and I'll show you it in slow motion so you can actually get an idea of how fast it's blinking. I'm gonna guess that this would probably be illegal to put on my car. So I'm currently testing the thermal performance of this light on the new drivers on all 3 channels at the same time. In the end, I was able to run this at full brightness on all 3 channels for a half an hour using these new drivers. They got a little bit warm, so I think I'm going to put a fan on them, a small fan to keep them cool. But besides that, I think this test was a big success. Next up was redesigning the enclosure for the LED drivers based off of the new chips I have, and here's my new design. I'm going to try to print the new enclosure, but I'm afraid that I might be too low on filament. We'll see. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to complete the print. It got tangled up and then stopped. And plus, there's really not much left on that spool anyway, so I'll have to order some more. Wait until next time. However, I do have this earlier version that I have printed out to kind of show you how this is going to work. It's a little bit off from the dimensions that I need it to be, but inside I have the 36 volts to 12 volts buck converter. This will give me the power for the fans. So then that drops down into a slot right in there, fits perfectly down there. At the very bottom I have the fan, which blows air up to cool all these. Then I have the 3 LED drivers for red, green, and blue channels, and then that just drops straight in there. And then we have the wire that will pass through from one side to the other. So we'll have power in one side, power out the other side. And then right here we have these little slots where the LEDs will stick in here. So then it will just kind of slot down in place. That's how that's gonna work out. Anyway, that's all I have for you this week that I've gotten so far. I'll be back again next week with another video, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to keep up to date on that stuff. And appreciate you letting me know what you think in the comment section, because I really like to be able to keep improving this video series. Again, sorry, this one's a little bit rougher than the others because I had to edit this one on my phone, and I'm probably going to upload it from like coffee shop or something here in a little bit. Anyway, though, I hope you all have a good rest of your days, and I will see you next week, okay? Bye.